Well, welcome to another DCC install. This time I have an RDC. Just purchased this new and had it shipped and got here today. So we have that. And I'm installing a Digitrax controller. I'm not bothering with sound on this one. I'm just doing a straight DCC install. And I got this little guy for half price, so that was great. And the decoder, yeah, okay, it costs a little more than that. But being in Canada and our exchange rate right now, things aren't great. So step one, let's put that aside, pull the state, probably an hour running this in, so you know it runs well. Here is the decoder board. This I recognize as a light board for interior lights. I don't know what we have here. I can see we've got a couple of different LEDs mounted and DCC board. So let's start, put that there, put that there. Let's see what it says in here in instructions. And wow, look at this. We have complete installation instructions with the decoder, so that's looking good. Put that there, so we're ready to go. And grab my HO scale foam, which I bought an N scale one, but I prefer the HO one. It holds things a bit better. And okay, step one. Toss things around. Take the shell off. So I'm just going to hook my nails underneath the body. This usually works for Kato for me. And then a little bit of shaking here and there. Oh, and we just got the gas tank cover off. It'll give us a little more room to get that in. So right in there. And we have this slowly come off like that. Seat panel. Not a lot of seats or anything in here. So we'll just put that down there. Take a closer look. Wondering whether an interior light kit would fit in there or not. Might have to look at that closer. So now we got that. Gently remove the white clip that holds the seat frame in place. Okay, first of all I'm going to align it like the diagram. That would be this white clip. Tell, because this is time consuming getting this out. One side, and there's the other side. Okay, so a little white clip is now forced out. Okay, careful how you take it apart because you're going to have to put it back together again. That's the next instruction. Alright, well, going to have to bend these little guys up a little. Because this board's going to have to come off. Remove the white plastic. Remove the lamp boards. Okay, remove the white plastic plug from the frame to make room for the decoder. Okay, that's this guy. Okay, so in order to do that, I can see there's some clips at the side here. Aha, I see some clips. it's closer once I get those pushed through, and it's those. Okay, now, and it just all comes up like that. I'm going to remove these for later install. It's interesting getting this all back together again. Okay, we'll remove these guys as well. So these all go through. And they go over that clip. Okay, I see. And then they fit in there. Okay, decoder contact strips face up. When I look at the board on the bottom side of the panel, I can see it looks like that. Okay, back again after spending a fair amount of time wiggling stuff around, and I have managed to get this on. Part of what I had to do is I had to get some capped on tape in here for a potential short, put that in a couple of spots. So I've now got everything here. The only thing is I noticed that the lights aren't working at all when I just put it on the track like this, and at least this seemed to be working, so that was a good first step. Now I'm going to go through and follow the rest of the assembly directions. Move the lamp boards from the plastic clips as shown here. Now the other thing is I don't have, I could use these little guys. Another one of those jobs, once you've done it once, it's a whole bunch faster the next time around. Okay, so now we'll go back to our little short board here that we've... Okay, so I'm going to wander off and test this now. Okay, we're successful, although the lights seem backwards. But in any case, we're going to reassemble it. I'm just trying to figure out what's forward and what's back. I guess that one's forward and that one's back. Put it on, it'll look like that. If I put it on that way, it would look like that. Let's see if we can get everything on. That's where we had problems before. Alright, so we're back again. Here's the leftover pieces. And you can see that I've pretty much assembled everything. Here's the fully assembled bottom component. And then here's the the top. When I put the top on, it shorts it out. Well, I assume it shorts it out because the light, everything goes from working to not working, so I'm assuming that's just an overall short. And I think the reason for that is on the board here, I think it's touching the little contacts here. Okay, so the problem here, so when I get it back on, so when I put the shell here on the unit, it shorts out, and I think that's because these little strips that run under here are contacting the board, and I notice one rough solder point. So I noticed that, so what I'm going to do is desolder them and resolder them so that I don't have that issue. The other thing I noticed is the lights are reversed, so I'm going to desolder and resolder the pads for the lights as well so that I can flip them over to the correct direction. So step one will be to take my carefully taped stuff here and untape it. So right along here you see I have some capped on tape placed, but right here is a rough spot, and as far as I know that just has to be isolated. So So I put my strip of Kapton tape down on my cutting pad here, and then I can cut off pieces as I need it. And I need it to do some coverage on here. So need a strip that fits over this part so that it can't come in contact with anything. And now that it's nice and smooth, there's nothing that can poke through. So we'll just cut it off flush here. Yeah, we'll leave a little bit to wrap under. So this needs to go back in. And that's how it goes back in. Okay, I just put it on the layout to see what would happen. Just put it there and then turned on the light and pressed down, and I still have the same problem. So I've got my continuity checker out here. And if we connect okay, after doing some more testing, I think what the issue is, and just get those little guys back on. You can see on here where we have these two contact strips here, and they have to make contact along here, but there's a bit of an issue in this area on here where it sticks up a little. So I'm thinking what happened is as you put pressure on, the pressure goes through here and I don't get a good enough contact in these areas. So what I'm going to do to resolve that is I'm just going to put a little bit of solder along here and along here. Okay, after checking out the magnet wire, it's really skinny and hard to work with. I decided instead to work with what I have here, which is some speaker wire for a decoder, and I think it's going to be a heck of a lot easier to strip down the way I want to and do other things I need. So we're going to start with stripping it, and I'm going to use the soldering iron technique for doing that, which says grab this guy like this and then put the soldering iron on and pull. Got most of it off, a little bit more there. Clean the end, get a little solder on it, little flux, and it's nice and clean. Now we'll take this first wire, dip it in the flux, and get a little solder on. We're tinning the whole thing here. All nice and shiny. And the next one we do, put more on. This time we use tweezers to hold it. Grab a little more solder. This is about the best thing I got. Okay, that's holding that in place. And we have a wire here. Have some solder on our soldering iron. Yeah, we have a solder blob. Grab the other one of these. A little more solder. And we have a solder blob. So that now looks like that. Now I need to figure out how this is going to go on here, about like that. So how much am I going to cut off? Okay, cut off just before the... Look at this. This is so perfect. This wood just fits beautifully on there. Now a little bit of flux. And I want to bend this down so it's take a toothpick, pull this guy down. So that one's soldered on. Make sure we got a little blob of solder on the end again. There we go. So if that's what was causing my problem, it will now be fixed. Pull this wire through. Yeah, that for sure is going to make solid contact. Oh, I know, you just love that cute little thing. Yeah, I got it at the craft store at Wally World. Okay, bring this back. Let's try putting this in again. Just making sure everything's contacting where it should under here. Okay, my initial connection now seems to be okay, so I can put away all my soldering stuff. So yeah, that was really the problem, was it was coming, wasn't shorting, it was having an issue that when pressure was placed on here, it was moving the contacts. So what I learned from that is when you're installing these decoders here, these little guys, you got to make sure that they've got power pickup okay, because that's what was missing. So now, I'm going to see if, well, I'm going to go try it on the layout. Okay, now let's try the body. Okay, we have success. There you see what should be the front of the car, but again the lights are weird. I got interior lights as well, and then I got what would normally be the tail lights but are now the headlights. As you can see, when this guy heads off, we're in the wrong direction. So I'll reverse the motor on it through the DCC setup, and then it will correspond to the lights, and I think we'll be all okay then. And reverse it, it works okay. Interior lights I can turn off. Exterior lights I can turn off, and the full stop.